Before we start the API setup process, we need to activate our Broadage account first. As soon as you fill up the sign-up form, you will receive an activation email. If you don't receive the email, click the Resend Email button here. Make sure to check your spam box too if you can't find it in your inbox. To activate the account, click the button on the email. And you will be redirected to your dashboard. And that's the activation process is done. Now that the activation process is done, we need to enter the IP address of the website that we will use our API on. To enter it, we need to go to the Accessibility tab under the API settings. Enter the IP address here and click the Add IP Address button. Reminder: unless you are on the same network with your website, you should not type your personal computer's IP address here. Instead, you need to enter your website's own unique IP address here. Now click the IP address button. And you added your IP address successfully. Now we can move to the next step. The third step of the API setup process is getting your API subscription keys. It's also called API token, by the way. API token is your unique way of communicating with our sports data. It is a way of encrypting your data from getting into another one's hands other than you. So its main purpose is to secure your access to our communication with us. Every API subscription has two API tokens, the main one and the second one. The second one is there for the purpose of being a backup to the main one, as if there is some technical problem about the main token. You can always use your backup token for the time being. To get your API tokens, go to the Accessibility Settings tab under the API Settings. You can see your primary token and secondary token here, also called your backup token. You can regenerate each one of your token if you want, anytime you want. To get your token, click the Copy Token button here. And you can see your token is copied to the clipboard. Now go back to your dashboard. And now we are ready to get into the final step. Our API is ready to go. Now we can try and give it a test drive to see how it works. We will send an API request. To send a request, we need 4 values in total, 3 request headers and 1 request parameters. The number of request parameters will differ from one widget to another. Some will have 1, some will have 2. We also need a base URL for our API to get an answer to our request. You can get your base URL from Accessibility Settings tab under the API Settings here. Copy this base URL. For demonstration purposes, we will use the Postman app to send an API request. Go to your Postman and then click this plus button. Now paste your base URL on the URL section here. Now we need the URL of the endpoint we will send a request to. To see the request, we can check out Broadage Sports API Tech Docs from developers.broadage.com. Now we will go to Tech Docs. We will send a request to soccer tournament fixture endpoint for this video. Click this endpoint from this list. You can see the request URL here. Copy this to clipboard and paste it to the Postman. Now we need to enter the tournament ID. On your 30 days free trial period, you have access to German Bundesliga 2 and Swedish Allsvenskan, the Swedish Super League so-called leagues. We will use the Swedish Super League here, which has a tournament ID value of 20. Next step is the 3 request headers we need to enter. These are your API subscription key, aka API token, your primary language ID, and the selection parameter for the response type. Click the headers button here. First, we will enter our API token. For this, we will need the API token key. We can get this from API Tech Talks. Copy this and paste it to here. This is your request header key for the API token. Copy your API token from your dashboard and paste it to the value section here. Now, click this and paste it to here. Next one is language ID. Our primary language is English, which has the language ID of 2. Enter the key and value on their section. The final one is the response type key. Type accept on the key section, then type application XML on the value section. If you uncheck this bottom box here, your response will be on JSON type. If you check it, it will be on XML type. Now we can send our request. Click the send button here. And we successfully send our first API request. Uncheck the accept key to see it on JSON format too. And that's it for the API setup process. Thanks for watching.